Hello and welcome to Bike Routes of Brum, an attempt to show you safe cycle routes across the once great motor city of Birmingham in the UK. My aim for these videos is to try and show you ways of getting around the city without having to cycle along any of the busy main roads. I'm also going to avoid cycling on the canals as well, as they can be quite tight in some places and aren't particularly useful in the dark. In this first video I'll be cycling from Stirchley, one of the southern suburbs in the city, to Harborne in the west. This is one of many ways you could take, but it seemed to me to be one of the quieter routes available. Feel free to comment below with any other routes that you might use to get between these two places. This journey took me about 25 minutes to cycle, and apart from a couple of hills, it wasn't too taxing. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll try to upload more cycle routes as regularly as I can. Okay, so we're going to start by dropping onto Pershore Road. It's quite busy usually, but it is a 20 mph speed limit, so it's not too bad. But we're going to take a left onto Maryvale Road to kind of keep ourselves off Pershore Road. Just be aware that this road can be a bit busy as well, as it's the main thoroughfare towards Bourneville. We'll take the immediate right onto Lee House Road. We're basically running parallel to Pershore Road now. It just keeps us off the main drag. And then we're going to turn right onto Bourneville Lane and an immediate left onto Bond Street. It's quite a long street. It's fairly quiet. There's occasional buses that come down here, but it shouldn't be too busy. We're then going to take a left onto Sparry Drive. This is quite a steep hill. Good that I haven't included the audio because you'd hear me panting very loudly as I went up this hill. But this basically leads up into a close with a little modal filter to stop cars going through, so it's usually pretty quiet apart from local traffic on this little section. And this is the little modal filter I was talking about, which will take you all the way down onto a Raddlebarn Farm Drive. So just so people kind of have an idea of where we are now, we're running parallel to the canal on your left and Umberslade Road on your right. Again, it's there's no through traffic on this road, so it'll only be the cars of residents around here, so it's not too busy. The road can be quite potholy though, so just be careful when you're cycling. But like I said, it's not usually too bad. When we come to the end of this road, we're going to take a right onto Raddlebarn Road. In the evenings, this can be quite busy, but we're not on it too long, so we're going to take a left onto Healy Road. Again, this road can be fairly busy with people using it to kind of rat run between Selly Oak and Selly Park, but there's lots of these kind of speed bumps all the way down, so it's not usually too bad for speeding. I think it's a 20 mph road as well, so hopefully people shouldn't be doing it, and you can avoid the speed bumps on a bike by kind of going to the left. As you're going down, people do tend to park on the speed bumps, which is a bit annoying, so if you're coming up this road, you can't really avoid them, which is frustrating. I mean, one of the ways they could probably improve this is by making it one way, but I don't think there's any sort of political appetite at the moment to do that. We're just passing Selly Oak train station on our left. This is kind of the back side of it. Any cycle stores, if you're looking to park your bike there, is on the other side of the railway. And we're just coming to the end of this road now, and we're going to take a right onto Bristol Road. We're not staying on long onto this protected cycleway. We'll take the immediate left into Goodman's Yard. It's a shared space between pedestrians and cyclists, so just try not to bomb it too fast. This bit here is actually quite frustrating. I've left the whole thing in just to kind of give you an idea. If you do want to cycle up, it's going to take you a while. I find the same when I'm taking a buggy up here. It's again, it takes a while, and in fact, if you notice the pedestrian that I passed just as I came into Goodman's Yard, he ends up beating me across the bridge. and beating me down the other side as well, which gives you an idea of how long it actually takes to get up and down. If I were you, and if you're able to, I would just normally pick up the bike and just walk it up and down the steps. It makes it a lot easier. But we're going to carry on now and enter into Selly Oak Retail Park. It's usually quite busy. This was filmed at probably about 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, so it wasn't there's barely any traffic, but it can be quite busy basically in the day and on weekends. But we're going to pop through the retail park. I don't know whether you're actually allowed to be doing this, but I went across the zebra crossing and you're onto Harborne Lane Island and through the lights. I wouldn't advise cycling around this roundabout, especially when it's busy. It can be a nightmare to drive through, let alone cycle. So this way that I'm going seems to be the kind of the safest route, really. These lights, the other two I was through fairly quick, but this one does seem to take a while. If I was to do this again, I would probably just cut through the McDonald's and it would put you out on that side of the light rather than going through the whole set of lights that I did. We were going down here and crossing at these lights here, which we were through fairly quickly, and onto this kind of split pavement cycleway, which you keep on the left. And we go round here and we are onto the A4040, which is Harborne Lane, and this is kind of a shared pedestrian and cycleway. It's the cycleway on the left, so we just stay on here now down. Again, you could probably cycle on the actual road if you wanted, but this is kind of a nice route off the actual road. I'm stopping here and we're going to go across this toucan crossing. Again, the lights didn't take too long to get over, and we go left, and then we're going to take a right onto the Bourne Brook walkway. This section of the walkway is not paved, but it's kind of tarmacked over, and we follow this for a while. It runs along with the Bourne Brook, one of two Bourne Brooks in Birmingham, which are very close to each other, weirdly. That's to your left, and it's kind of like a nature reserve wetland on the right. It's quite a pleasant bit to cycle along, really. It's shared with pedestrians and cyclists, so just kind of take your time and don't go too fast. This part now isn't paved, it's a bit more gravelly. I didn't find it too bad to cycle along even on my little hybrid bike, but just be aware, maybe if you're on a proper road bike with thin tyres, it might not be the most suitable for you. We keep going along this little section, and what we're going to do now is take a right into these gates here. They're not particularly accessible, so if you're on a trike or something like that, it might be quite difficult to get through, unfortunately. So we're going to continue up this footpath now and up onto Cadnam Close, past the Copper Fox pub, and then you get to this strange kind of junction. We want to go straight across, but we have to weave around this bit onto Grove Lane. Now, I think Quinton Road is a bit strange. It's almost a bit like a dual carriageway, but it's it shouldn't be too busy, and you can always push across that junction if it is you don't want to attempt it. We're up onto Grove Lane now. It's quite steep, this bit, and this is another one where I'm glad the audio isn't on, so you can't hear me panting. I think I just had to stop here to let a car go past, but it shouldn't be too busy. You've got Grove Park on your right there, which looks like quite a nice park. I've never really been into it before, never really had a reason to go. So Grove Park was historically the grounds of an 18th century Georgian house called the Grove. The Grove was the home of one of Birmingham's first MPs, a guy called Thomas Atwood, between 1823 and 1846, and Thomas Atwood is the guy you may recognise as sitting on the steps in Chamberlain Square in the city centre. So now we're going to take a left onto Old Church Road. It's a school zone and a 20, I think, so it shouldn't be too busy along here apart from maybe at school time. It actually felt really nice here. It was hard to believe that we were kind of in Birmingham. It felt like a nice country lane. You got St Peter's Church to your left, and if you follow this road round a bit, you'll get to a really nice old pub called the Bell, which I've been to a few times and really enjoyed it there. But we're not going to the pub, we're going to take a right onto St Peter's Road, and now you can see that we're really starting to get into proper Harborne now. The houses are getting nice, and the road's quite wide, but I don't think it should be too busy because it only links to that kind of old school road part and up onto the main road that we're heading towards here. You could take a left there onto Albert Road if you were looking to go towards Bearwood. You just carry on there onto a roundabout, over the roundabout and onto Lordswood Road. And when we get to this junction, we want to kind of go across it, so that means taking a quick right and then a left onto Vivian Road. This road kind of runs parallel to Harborne High Street, but it just means you kind of don't have to go down the worst of it. It's quite a quiet road, and at this roundabout you want to go straight across and through this nice little gap for cyclists. It's one way, but we get to go on this kind of grotty little cycle lane, and that will take us all the way up to the junction by the pub called The Junction. So we're going to take a right onto Harborne High Street here. This is probably one of the busier parts of the route. We're right near the end, and it just seemed to make the most sense, rather than you could have gone straight ahead of that junction and then kind of right round along some back routes, but there's a lot of one-way streets around here and it just seemed easy to go this way. So we've arrived. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I hope it's been useful for you. As I said at the beginning, I'll be looking to make more of these videos, and I will look to try and upload them on a weekly basis. So until next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.